Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. Today we are going to work with some watercolor items I played with this morning. I'm on the road to recovery. I want to thank everyone for sending the well wishes. I had mentioned in my Collage Weekly Planner week 4 that I've been in bed sick all week. And I am feeling better. I have to feel better. We got another dumping of white flakes from the sky. And my son got in the cat skid steer this morning early before it warmed up. And we set 450 feet back from the road. So we can't just have our driveway plowed. We have to have the cat skid steer with the snowblower attachment on it. It has a 6-foot wide snowblower attachment, and he will clean up the yard, but the vehicles have to be cleaned off. So I was out this morning, my daughter-in-law and my other son, Patrick, and myself. My husband's, he's sick, so he couldn't come out and help. But wasn't too bad. Actually, the fresh air made me feel good. So now I've decided that I'm going to come in and give my chest a break. I'm still quite tight in the chest, and I'm still a little nasally. But I wanted to play with some watercolors today. Last week when I was down and out, I was watching Rainey. I follow her on YouTube, and she's a watercolorist. And I just love the way Jenna teaches. And I do enjoy working with watercolor. I'm not very good at it. I'm learning. So I was trying to think of something different I could do with all of you. This is watercolor paper, okay? This is not plain, media paper or anything like this. So I do suggest if you are going to use watercolor that you get yourself a little pad of watercolor paper. So I started out this morning. These are some little pieces, fun pieces here we're going to work with. This is my little watercolor tray I was working with this morning. And I thought I would make some, I'm calling these book plates. I don't even know if that's the right thing. That's the only thing I could think of. They're for your junk journal, and it's just to put, if you do not want to decorate your entire page in your junk journal, you can make standalone art and then put it in there if you'd like to. So I figured, I'm going to practice my watercoloring, blah, blah, blah. It would be just something relaxing for me to do today. So the first thing I did was I have some fun stamps from AliExpress, and actually have a lot of stamps I bought this past winter. And I figured I would start using some of them. So as you can see, I stamped this on here with this stamp here, and I used VersaFine because I could use watercolor with it. Now the question is, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Because you probably can't tell here if I did the watercolor first, then stamped. The first thing I did was stamp because I had something totally different in mind that I wanted to do with you folks today. And then I said, well, no, I got to keep that on a little bit more light. I was casting a shadow, but then I thought, well, maybe I'll do it different. I still don't know if I like my new lights that I was given and that I'm using. So, at any rate, to make a long story short, I had stamped this, and then I said, well, you know what? Maybe I'll practice with some watercolor on here. And then I thought, well, I'm going to botch that up because I know I'm not going to like the way it looks. So why don't I just get a clean slate? And one of the first things Jenna has you do is she gets you to learn your brush and how to work with loose, wet watercolors. So I decided to practice my circles. So I popped her on. So she was sitting right here next to me. Aren't I lucky? Right here next to me today. So I got her on YouTube, called her up. She said she wasn't doing anything and she wanted to hang out with me. So I said, great. So I watched her video on just getting to know your paintbrush, how to hold it, um, how to make these circles, how to, just kiss the circles so they kind of bleed together. I'm not real good at doing that yet. But once it was dry, I went back and then I added some other colors to it. And I thought, I think that would be kind of fun now to put my ephemera over that and to enhance it. So I did a circle, and then she has another one that she does with loose flowers. Now, I'm not good at this at all. But again, she just wants you to get used to using, I think, the watercolors and I used a 6-inch round brush. I used this brush here. And my task this morning was just all about learning how the watercolors are going to flow when you're using a loose technique, adding more water, trying to get them to bleed in. And then I went back and I added some of the green little stems and stalks like she talked about, and then I added more watercolors on top of the others. And I did learn, which I like, that if you have too much watercolor, you can either, turn your brush, and pick it up. You just turn it and pick it up. I blotted it with a tissue, and I like the way that it just kind of made these funky little impressions inside. So I just thought these would be fun to use and create with and put ephemera on and use them in your junk journals. And then when we're done with this, because this really shouldn't take me too long, then this is again watercolor, and you can see the watercolor paper. It's textured and it really holds the water and yada, yada, yada. I went and I had these stamps here, and I wanted to use them and do something fun. I want to incorporate tissue paper with this one. So I just went ahead and I stamped. I'm going to be putting watercolor throughout here. And I'm going to be using this tissue paper. And I remember a long time ago, I used to make tissue paper flowers. Tissue paper flowers, the Martha Stewart way. And I thought it would be kind of fun to incorporate some tissue paper flowers on here. So I thought we would just play with this today, and I'll bring, that way you can see how much water I use in my watercolors. But I highly suggest checking out Jenna Rainey. It's JennaRain, just like rain, EY. And I can put her link for these two exercises in my description. I just think she's wonderful. I'm totally in love with her. And she's, she just really explains things in layman terms that I can understand. So the first one here, let's see, what am I going to do? I think it's this one here. We're going to switch out. And then all I did was pull, because I want to keep them simple, and I want to make sure you can still see the watercolor behind here. So I pulled out a floral from one of my favorite books. It's called Flora, An Illustrated History of the Garden Flower by Brent Elliott. And it's the Royal Horticultural Society. And there's just wonderful, wonderful pictures in here of flowers that you can cut out, play with, do whatever you'd like to do in here. But they're abstract, some are realistic. So I chose this one here, and I'll take a break, cut this out. This is going to go with the circle, the dot one. I'm going to set that aside. Then I also have these labels here by In the Ink, and I wanted to use some of these. So I'm going to set those aside over here. And then I brought out my stamp book, because this is one thing that I don't use enough of, and I really want to start using more of stamps, because there's so many beautiful stamps and so many beautiful colors. And I think the stamps would go lovely with watercolor. So I do have another little piece, a floral piece here, and I have some old paper that I've just ripped and torn, and I did choose 3 stamps ahead of time, 2 purple and the green, because I thought they would be quite lovely with this. And I have one little label here. And I'm not going to try to ink things up. I just want to keep this fresh and clean. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I know I want to have this down in the right-hand corner here. And then I got to get my tweezers out here. I have my blue play mat out, and things kind of stick to it. Let's see, large flowering. I thought I would put this up here with that little thing there. And I thought I would maybe add these here like this. And then I have my put that there. Something like that, just to add a little bit to it. So it may change, but that's the idea. And again, because it's the white background, I do not want to, I think maybe I might stitch around this. I have a cream, well, almost like I won't call it a cream color, maybe this color right here, or maybe more like this color, thread in my sewing machine. And maybe I will stitch around this after. I don't know. But I just wanted something light to do today and play and just spend some time with everybody. Just so I don't feel so isolated after not feeling good. And I hope I did respond to everyone today who left comments, because I don't want to neglect you. And Biddy Penny, I hope that you had mentioned that you and your husband have not been feeling good either. So I hope that you two are on the road to recovery. And I just find the older I get, the longer it takes me to recover from, being sick or whatever. And I don't know, I'm not used to that. I just have always bounced back. But Plus, too, I think if you have allergies, that it takes a little bit longer too, because if something you get that sinusitis, or you end up with a sinus infection, it just takes a little bit longer. Sometimes you don't need a lot of ephemera to create create something different. Or maybe I'll put that over in that corner. I think that corner needs something. Then maybe I can put a little Tim Holtz saying. I did pull them out. I just think you can make a lovely piece of something without really having to go overboard. Let's see. I don't want black. I'll do a white one. Let's see. I can just use this. Let's see. This one says, choose to see the good. Because I really don't like I don't know, maybe I should use a black one. Let's see. Let me see what I can find for black. I just think black might be too much. I'll just pull one. Doesn't really matter. And if it works, it works. If not, I'll set it aside and maybe I could add something else. This one says, live simply, live generously. Yeah, that's not too bad. I don't mind the black because it has the black. We have the black border. On there. Right there. Live simply, give generously. There. So there's that one. All right. I'm not going to do any stitching until the very end. And then I'll step away and then I can show you what I stitched and what I didn't stitch. But I think that's pretty. And I think that would be really pretty in the center of a journal. So just for an example, I have my blue and white journal here. So say I wanted to just put something on across from this side. That's where I can just insert that. I could just put that right there on that blue page. Or if you have a page that maybe you're not sure what to put on, you could put that on there with the dots behind it, or right here on that style. So it's nice just to feature, a single piece of art. in your junk journal. You don't always have to decorate the page, or if you're lost for, what you should do, or, even just a possibility, you could make up a bunch of these. I'm going to call them little watercolor book plates. I don't know. What is the definition of a book plate? Let's just see here. Let's see. What are book plates? Book plate, a label with a printed design intended to indicate ownership, usually pasted inside the front cover of a book. All right. Well, I could still call it because I'm owning this. So I could call it a little watercolor book plate. All right. So this here, I am going to cut. I'm going to step aside and I'm going to get this all fussy cut because you don't need to see me do that. So as soon as I'm done with that, we'll be back and we will see how it works with this one here. Okay, so I have the floral piece all fussy cut. That's all done. And I did pull some other stamps that I thought would be fun, and I cut a label, a little tag. So we're going to put this, let's make sure I'm in camera. I think we're going to put this right down around here. I don't want to cover the whole, I don't want to cover up the entire, all the little bubbles. So I'm going to put that right down around here, and then we'll trim it off once I have it. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some glue here just to hold it in place. And then I can finish. I'll put that right about there. And then I can glue it on afterwards. I'm going to trim that right now just so I know what I'm working with here. All right, so we have that floral piece on here. I'm not going to glue it yet because I do have this. I do know I'd like to add a little bit of red to this. It's just an off color from what we see already here. And I thought that would look quite nice right down here in this corner. And I think I will put it. What did I do with my tweezers? What are my tweezers? Interesting. I better find them because I need them to use my tissue paper. It's odd. Oh, here they are over here. Maybe I could put it right about there, or do I put it underneath? Move it up a little bit. I don't really want to move it up. I want to cover that white spot. So I'll tuck it underneath the leaf. There we go, just like that. All right, so now I can tack this down here. All right. I'm going to leave this up because I have an idea, and I think what I would like to do is I'd like to do a little bit of stamping on this here, on these little circles, just to give it a little, just some more fun time. And these are stamps that I have. I purchased these from AliExpress because you just can't beat the price of their stamps. So if I take some of these fun little doodle circles, maybe this one here, and I'm going to use my VersaFine, and I think what I'm going to need to do, get a scrap piece of paper here. I don't think I want them dark, 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 because I don't want them to overpower this. So if I just do, if I do a light stamp, and then maybe if I just do one after that, I think that'll be fine. Just to get some of that ink. See how I'm just taking some of that ink off there. And just adding a little bit behind that. And let's see. I want to, I'm going to be doing this on one of the other ones as well. There we go. So that just kind of gives it a nice matte finish. And just kind of check to see the size. If you have some of these little doodle stamps. And I think it just brings out the watercolor as well. It's a fun little, just a fun little addition. Let's see. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do anything that fills it in too much. So maybe I'll just do another one of these. And then I can also take my my little white pen after, and I can make some little circles around here. Let me get this one back. And we're going to put this one right down in there like that. All right, so we'll set those aside. And then I'm going to take, I think I can glue this down now. And it just, these little doodle stamps just add a little, another little element to the artwork. Okay. And then, now if I was brave, I would take my black pen and I would outline around this flower, which I may do just because I think it needs a little something. And hey, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, then it doesn't. Here's my little paper studio one. So maybe we can just outline around here to define this a little bit more. And just make sure that, you know, when you do your watercolors that your paint is dry, because you wouldn't be able to use your marker over it, you know, if it was wet. just make sure you can see where you're doodling as well. A couple little spots here I didn't see real well, but am I real concerned about it? No. And come down around here. Okay, I think I have that all outlined. So I think that's better with the little outline there. And then I'm going to take my white. This is the paint marker. And I'm going to just shake it up good there. And let's write on. I still have a hard time. There we go. Using this, I don't think that they're the best ones that I could use. The paint. I have this one here, the Uniball. Let me try this one. Okay, that's better. I like the Uniball is better. And I'm just going to kind of go around some of these in the white like this, just to add a little bit of and I'm not going over the where it's bled, and you can kind of see where it's blended. And I'm going to leave everything that I did with the black. I'm going to just leave that stamped area there like that. But I think that brings it, pops it a little bit more to life there. I think that's fun. And then I found this cute little stamp here. Slavinsko. I want to add that up in the right-hand corner because I just think that's festive and fun, colorful. So, and I guess, you know, the lesson here is you don't need a lot. The only thing you need is your imagination. And if you don't have a good imagination, then by all means, go ahead and copy my work for your journals. I don't care. If it helps you create something that you see that you like and you're just having a hard time, just follow along. Just follow along and do what I'm doing if you like it. Because it's all about sharing, right? Sharing is caring. And then we have this fun little butterfly stamp that I'm going to put right down here in the corner. Okay. And I think I will stitch around this, and I think it will add to that. And I don't think we need anything else on that. So we have these two here. This one here, I'm going to do, this was my first one that I had worked on. Then I thought, well, you know, it's not the greatest, but I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the other one. I'm going to stamp the background on this one. This one I'm going to make just as the chocolate. Oh gosh, I must be craving chocolate. I'm going to make the black on here. Where did chocolate come from with that black? I'm going to just add some fun other little things on here and add a little bit of ephemera. And I think it'll be cute. Okay, get rid of that. Let's see. There's another one on here. I thought this one would be fun to use. And maybe one more right there. All right, so I think that'll be good. We'll put that one there. All right, let's set these aside. I think we're done with the stamping. All right, and then we'll just add to this. Okay, we're going to put this up here. And again, it's something different. It's something fun. I don't think it's the norm, you know, that, oh, I better get that cleaned off, huh? I'll be making my own little dibbles and dabbles on making more doodles that I don't want to make. Okay, so let's trim this here. What do you want to do on this one? Do you want to do stamps? Do you want to, we could find another flower. Those definitely will not go with that. Let's see if we should find another. Let's see if we could find another flower here. Maybe, oh, those lily pads would be cool. We could put a couple lily pads along the side. That's where you just really kind of have to think. What will work best for the piece that you're using at the time. Or is it going to be something, should we use another little, you know, a plate, something such as that to put over in this corner here with all these funky little stamps. It's kind of retro. Boy, that'd be pretty to use. Not on that, but this is a beautiful book. This is just has some of the best images in it. Let's see. Let me think here. You see anything? What do you think? What might we do? Maybe a bird. Maybe we could get a funky bird to put on there. It's fun. All right, let me grab my bird book and we will see what might be in there. There's a ranunculus. All right, let me grab my bird book and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back with my bird. I decided to cut out a purple martin. I'm having a hard time with this one because I think it's just so, if I were to leave it like this and just add a couple other items to it, I think it would be great. But I really want to somewhat, I'm thinking, fill up the page here. And because there is a lot going on in the background, I'm torn as to whether I should turn it and work with it horizontally or if I should continue to work with it vertically. Again, it just depends on where you're going to use it, what you're going to do in your, if you're going to put it in your book. I kind of been fooling around with this vertically, or horizontally. And I like it either way. So I just am kind of in a, I don't mind it like that. I had it, like I said, horizontally. Maybe I will work with it vertically. I think it would be better for me in my mind to work with it in my book this way. So I got out my Mod Podge and I'm going to be adding, because this is so bright, I am going to be adding some tissue paper here on this just to tone it down a little bit. And I'm not going to add any more book pages. So I'm just going to start with putting this on here like that. And I'm just going to go over it and get that all down and over on it. I'll have to let that dry a little bit. That's what I'm going to put down here. Maybe I'll just get a bunch of this on here now. And then I can just get that on there. I do like working with all these fun mediums, which I haven't done in the past, but I just find it very, very relaxing. I think maybe that's what I need to do more of in 23. All right, so you can see how that, how that tones that down. I'm just going to crinkle it this way, and that will dry. I'm not too concerned about, because I'm going to be overlapping and layering things on here. I'm just going to continue to glue. I'm going to get this out because I can't find my little, pin to poke the top of that. here will be good. And then we're going to get our purple martin right up there. Put that stamp down right about here. Okay. And we're going to put that right about right there like that. Okay, we're going to add this. And I think I'm starting to get tired. And I don't want to overdo it. I feel like such an invalid. I think I'm going to make another video with this one here and the tissue paper. I'm going to finish these up because I want to stitch around these and I want to show you what they look like stitched. And I'm getting tired. I want to go lay down. I'll go watch some mindless TV again. I'll go visit with hubby. He's home sick. I've mentioned that. And maybe we'll go down. I know he's taping. He's been taping the Australian Open. And maybe I'll go down and watch a little tennis. See if he wants to watch tennis and have a cup of tea. Because this little girl is getting tired. And I'm getting tired. All right, I think that's good. So I'm going to stitch some of these. So we have this one here. And these I'm going to have to put into a book too. So we have this one here. We have this one here. And we have this one here. So let me go do some stitching, top stitching on these. I'll be right back and we'll wrap it up. Okay, so I have them all stitched and I'm glad that I did because I just think it really brings them all together nicely. So here is the one with the beautiful bird, and then I've got this really fun stamp down here. And here I just did a straight stitch around, so that one's done. And then this one here, I just did one side of it. I didn't think between this here, I think it just needed a little something over here on the side, and I really like that one. So that one is done. Live simply, give generously. And then we have this one here. And I just think this is really pretty. Over here, you can see where I did one very close to the edge. I did 3 different lines in all different sizes here. And then I just finished them off up on the top there. And if I want to add a saying down the road, I will, depending on what book I put it in. I might put this in a garden book or in my blue and white journal with all my fabulous women in there. It may require a saying. So these are going to be just my little watercolor, I'm going to call them book plates, my little artist book plates for my books. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit longer, but I think it was important to show you what you can do between your watercolors, your beautiful bird and floral images, your postage stamps. You don't need a lot to create a small piece of art for your book. So I want to thank everybody for joining in. If you like this video, obviously give me a thumbs up. I'd love to hear your comments, and I will see you when I see you. Okay, everybody, have a great day. Bye-bye.